Hello, it's me, Kayla R again with another Funko Pop custom making video. Today I am going to show you guys how to make a Jillian Holtzmann custom from Ghostbusters 2016. This is the usual Holtzmann Pop you can buy at stores, hopefully still. So what I did was I bought another Holtzmann and I made her with the Proton Pistols. I love the scene where she uses them in the movie, and for like a year now I've been wanting a Holtzmann chase with her holding the pistols, and I'm not sure if Funko will ever make one, because I don't know if they still got the license, but if they still got license, if they do a sequel or something, I would love to see Funko do a variant Holtzmann with her Proton Pistols. So people who, love Holtzmann, they can't get enough Holtzmann, and you love Funko Pops, and you're like me, wanted a chase of her with her Proton Pistols. Here is actually a tutorial video on how to make her. It's a bit tricky to do with some sculpting with the pistols, but everything else is a bit of a breeze. So I'm going to show you guys the materials. So to make Holtzmann with her Proton Pistols, you will obviously need a Holtzmann Funko Pop figure. You could probably still get her somewhere. Check a comic book shop and online. Also, I'm going to just say, look for one with a bad paint job if you want to restyle her up. So what you'll need is an X-Acto knife to cut off the proton gun and relocate her arms. You also need masking tape for painting stuff. So you will obviously need clay for the pistols. Just want to mention with my Holtzmann custom, it will be mentioned a couple times in this video. I didn't just do the pistols, I also redid the gun. I did her armband and also the ghost grenades. So there's some things I'm going to show, and also I redid her glasses because I wanted it to be based on the scene. So that's just, of course you can do whatever you want with your Holtzmann. So you will need clay to do the pistols, but you can also do the ghost grenades and the armband too, like I did. You will also need toothpicks to help you with sculpting. These are really helpful when you do the pistols because they're tiny. You will also need tacky glue to any kind of super glue. I use tacky glue to glue a lot of stuff back on, specifically hands. I ended up gluing them back on, not sculpting them completely. You will also need, for the cord part of your pistols, you can use the black cord thing. I use an old pair of earbuds, preferably black, but if you have them in different colors, you can obviously color them black. And then here are also sandpaper if you want to smooth things out. And before I showed paints, I used an elastic band to do her sash with the grenades. I prefer like a thick one, but I'll show how you can do this later on in the video. And now here are the paints. You will need, I used a silver one to paint her proton gun she originally had. I added on more clay to it. Whoopsie doodles. You will obviously need black to do some parts of the gun. I ended up using a little purple to darken my black, which is optional. I also used some white to help out lightening stuff. Totally optional. Gray. And then with the free buttons on each side of her gun. You will need green, red, and yellow. Also, I use Mod Podge to seal her up. So that's all you'll need to do Holtzmann. With Sculpting the Pistols, you could also use a previous made Funko that are holding guns. I do recommend getting a pop that are holding 2 guns, because you'll save money. So if you don't want to sculpt the guns, I found them tricky to sculpt. I didn't even show progress of me sculpting them, because they were so small and tricky to do. So if you want to make your life more easier, you could buy another Funko Pop that are holding hopefully 2 guns, and you can just use an X-Acto knife and just cut those guns off, and then do a little bit of sculpting to make them look like the ones from the movie, and then paint. So here we go with this video now. What I'm going to do is we are going to get some hot boiling water, and we're going to put it in there for a couple minutes. Might remove the head and make life a little more easier with the body. So we're going to remove the proton gun. You guys can see there's like, you guys can see that, which is probably inside a little square part, like a lot of pop figures. So we're gonna like use the glue. I can't talk. Basically, we're gonna boil it, and then the glue will soften, and we'll get that cute part out. And then we're gonna use an X-Acto knife and cut this part off, and then we're gonna sculpt guns, little proton guns. There's also an alternate way to do that. And then get a black cord and print inside connect it to the proton pack. A little hard to explain, but pack. I think I might do some little add-ons myself. I might base it more on the scene. I might customize her glasses. But, of course, if you just want to do the gun part, you can. You're not going to need a lot for paints. You will need a little bit of clay. I use air dry. You can also go for oven bag. Be safe when you print pops in ovens. And that's pretty much it for now. So I'm going to print this pop. Fail right there. Okay. In this measuring cup full of hot water. You don't need a print to stand in. So here's a Jillian Pop Holtzmann. I'm just gonna print her in. And I think I'm gonna keep her in for about 3 or 5 minutes. Okay, it's been a couple minutes now, so I'm going to take her out. And you can notice she's quite soft around the head part. You can actually remove her glasses in a way. Could we? Not really. But yeah, you can find us getting soft. Not really interested in getting rid of her glasses. So I thought there'd be like a little square here, but there isn't, which is less sculpting work to do. So what we're really going to do is get rid of that proton gun. I think I'll just cut this off first and then talk about something else. So the vinyl is soft, which makes life more easier. You can do it when it's hard, but when you boil it, the vinyl gets super soft, which is really nice and makes life more easier. So there we go. Okay, the head's actually kind of becoming a bit of a distraction. The head is kind of one of the newer ones where they're squared. So I might boil the head again, that part again, to remove it because it might make sculpting a little more easier. It's okay if you don't get all of that top part of the proton gun because it will help sculpt the Proton Pistol. And then there we go. There we go. So there's that piece of the proton gun that was between both hands. Yeah, I don't mind this vinyl shaving from my flintlock would pop. So there we go. We got the proton gun cut off now. Usually with the other Ghostbusters pops, Holtzmann's the only one that holds a proton gun from the proton pack. Usually they have their proton guns on the side. You can use this piece, and if you have the other little pieces to sculpt a proton gun back onto here, but it's actually, I think this one's a little bigger than the other ones, but you don't really have to turn it back on. You can also just sculpt one. I'm not sure what I'm gonna really do. I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna cut this part off either. You can also use this for one of your cords for the pistols. Either way. So now I'm actually gonna boil this pop again. Clay's everywhere here. So I'm gonna boil this pop again, and then I'm gonna work on repositioning her arms in the position it was in the scene, which will be another couple more minutes. Also, let's try to get the head removed too. Okay. So now so when the pop is, when it's all hot, you can actually reposition because the vinyl is pretty easy to move around. So, and what I'm doing here is, actually, can we get the head out? Oh, whatever. So, is by moving it around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna remove that part right here because it actually looks removable. We can coming out. I think I might remove this part of the sleeves. Holtzmann usually has her sleeves rolled up to the elbows, so I'm going to remove those gray parts and then sculpt sleeves onto that.